All right, well, I guess we do bottom to top. Bikini Bottom. Do I need to explain myself? Because this is going to be basically on detail, functionality, and my own personal experience. All right, Bikini Bottom is just bad. Because first off, the track is too short, right? And it rewards baggers. If you don't have a boost at the end, you're pretty much screwed for the entire race. Also, I don't know why the volcano erupt at the final lap was a pretty good idea. And there's one major shortcut that doesn't work at all. All right, you gotta have like a really good line. It's too narrow to actually fit through it. Yeah, it's too narrow to fit through it. All right, and that's why most players don't go for it. That's why like only the top level players would go it, and like maybe you'll be fine if you can recover with a laser, but like still, if you don't have a laser, you're pretty much screwed. That's why I always go around. Like why have that? That boardwalk is annoying. Yeah, so that's why Bikini Bottom is the lowest of lower tiers. All right, Minecraft World. Oh my God, do I need to show the clip of what happened to me? You'll see it.
We had a drill? That's insane.
Look at the injustice of what just happened to me. Let me go back again.
A drill? That's insane.
Look at that. It's a complete injustice. Also, morning, Kenzie. This jump. Oh, hang on. That jump at the end. I get that with Metal Harbor. That's more of a you personal experience than me. Although I think I did do that once, but I've never like backtracked right like that. Like the game thought I was out of bounds. But the jump on the final lap is a community-wide agreement that is just the worst thing ever. All right, nobody likes it at all, and I can't stand it. All right, plus the whole the whole end section is really annoying, because if you don't have like a shield or anything to get through the 3 boost pads, which will help you go faster, because of the end dragon gonna hurt you, then you might just get passed up for no reason, right? That's why I can't. It's way too linear. It's one of those tracks that are just way too, people are way too tight knit. And then after the that one jump where you're about to enter the nether, right? There's no walls, and you can just easily fall. And I have fallen off on those so many times on Minecraft World. The track looks good visually, I will say, but functionality, it is not that good. Expo solos hurts your soul. I'll explain why and when I get there. So yeah, Minecraft World sucks. All right, Hidden World, more like straight line simulator. Okay, this track has literally nothing, and I don't know why they brought this back. Okay, I don't like the flight sections. All right, you either the split pathway gets me every time, because I don't know whether I want to go for rings, items, whatever more beneficial, and the track itself is just really boring. It's boring, really. I won't say it's definitely the CrossWorld that I get the least jank on, but there's not much to it. I don't know. I just feel nothing when this gets picked. There's nothing else that makes this track stand out. Like there's no like shortcut or whatever. It's just boring. That's really why Solo is boring and not the best visually appealing. Also, I personally hate fly paths. That's why Magma Planet is down here, but I'm slightly better at it than Hidden World. And Magma Planet is it's really bright, which isn't a huge factor for me, but it's constant flight paths. You either take the flight path or you don't, or you're slow. Visually, I do like the fire dragons, but that's not really helping it. It also feels more like a straight line too, except it's slightly more curvy than Hidden World. But no one really likes it. Yeah, there's nothing to Magma Planet. That's why it's low. It's from a very obscure Sonic game. I don't even know what it's from. Original to this game? Oh, I thought it was from something. Okay. Well, whatever. So yeah, it's bad. It's just I can't. No one picks it as a crossworld anyway. Everyone mostly avoids it. Kraken gay. I am personally not a huge fan of the water physics in the game. It feels a little, I guess, off, really. And this is what I guess a good maybe like 45% of the track is. I pick it. No, you don't, Gepperman. No, you don't. In my personal opinion, a crossworld like this has way too many obstacles in the way, which can definitely screw you over. Thankfully, it's a bit more widespread than the others, but I wouldn't say it's the most fun to race on. That's another factor, how fun it is. And then the flight path. Flight path is okay. It's not the worst thing ever, but like I feel so slow when I go on the flight path at the end. It's not one I would personally pick. I want to feel fast when I go on it, and both the water section and the flight path make me feel like I'm going so slow on it. And like I said, the amount of obstacles in the way is not helping it either. Morning, Sammy. Chow Park. There's not much to say about Chow Park. It's not a bad track, it's just a boring track. There's nothing that makes it stand out. Like there's no shortcut, no alternate pathway. It's just drive. Yeah, I don't know why. Chow Park, what makes it weird too for Chow Park is that around the track itself, there's so much detail. There's like I think a volcano or the roller coaster that I feel like they could have implemented it into the track, but no, there's just not much to it, you know? There's like hidden potential that they couldn't bring out in the track, and that's why I don't like picking it. And then sure, it gets a little different on the final lap. You get a water section, ooh whippy, and then you get a shortcut that doesn't work functionally. It doesn't work. It might get you away from players, but it's not gonna really help you win the race at the end. Yeah. So that's why Chow Park is annoying. That's why I personally don't like it. All right, last in mirror mode is AypaJS. Admittedly, I do like it more than the rest of these, obviously. But that beginning section is pure and utter chaos. I have no problem with that personally. I've heard opinions except people that said really bad opinions like Charmy is the best character in Sonic franchise. There's only one person I can think of who says that the Sonic falling sign or some chopper ones. You know what? I didn't think about that, but it's still in the same tier for me. But yeah, AypaJS. Oh god, one of the most linear tracks in the game. I hate getting shoved by so many people or getting item spammed in that first section of the track. All right, that's usually the reason why I stay away, because I know I'm gonna get pushed by so many people or get item spammed on the final lap. It's irritating. Yeah, I can't with AypaJS. And what sucks with AypaJS is that it used to be one of my favorites. It would have been on top maybe when the game first came out, and now I don't pick it anymore. Straight lines, narrow path at the beginning and fly sections at the end. Yeah, the fly section is 50-50. You'll get out of it unscathed. All right, and that final turn at the end to get to the straight line section is so bad because I'm imagining it in my head. The monster trucks, the amount of monster trucks getting in your way, taking the so-called grass shortcut. It's first off, and it's too short. I feel like it could be a longer track, just a little bit. But whatever, I can't do anything about that. You get that glitch where you hit the wall point and get stuck. That happened to me maybe like a week ago or something. And usually it's because I get bumped by other people. I don't know why that section is so narrow. I guess I know they're trying to like stay somewhat true to how it was in Unleashed, but that's not. It's just not that good. I'm sorry. It would have been higher a while ago, but no. Poor AypaJS. Why Speaks being mid? I'll get to it. All right. There's only 3 tracks, and why does this exist? Number 1, White Cave. I explained this earlier when I was putting them on the tier list. This is more of why did they make it like this instead of how it was in Riders. They completely changed how it works there, and I'm not a personal fan of it. Washing Machine White Cave. Well, let's be real, White Cave is also pretty much a straight line simulator. It has a shortcut that does not work like a shortcut. Like I said, the shortcut for White Cave is 50-50 because you can easily fall off. Not to mention that there's like, oh, okay, you want to take the shortcut? Fine. Here's 2 obstacles in your way if you want to take it, and it's so narrow. That's why most people just stay to the right, because it's so easy to fall off. Really never do the shortcut. Just stick to the normal path, because your race can be entirely ruined if you've like feeling a little spicy that day, I'll say. And then you're gonna ask yourself, why did I do that? All right, Expo. It's boring. It's boring. There's it's slightly more widespread because like again, most of these tracks are so linear together, and I don't like bumping into people so much. It's linear and it's boring. There's nothing to it, like the theming, but I'm neutral on the track itself. Exactly. It's also kind of like White Cave for me. Like, why did they design it like this? I feel like there was more to it that they could have done. That's another thing with some of these tracks. I feel like they have a lot of detail around it and potential that they can, like, you know, implement, but it's not. That's why Child Park is solo, because there's detail around it but not utilizing the track itself. And that water section is definitely annoying. It's annoying for even tech drifters too, because you lose your invincibility when you get there, and that's when all the spam NATO gyms come out of nowhere. It's just not fun. Also, there's no shortcuts too. That makes it stand out. And nothing really makes it stand out. Music is not a factor in this tier list either. It's just the track itself and everything around it. Oh god, man, if only Kerbo was here, because we're going to talk about his favorite track. White Galactic Grenade. We're gonna get there. We're going from bottom to top. All right, we're in C tier right now. All right, Sand Road. More like Bagging Road as well. And no, let me be clear. This is not because of Kerbo. All right, I don't want people thinking, oh, I put it low just to spite Kerbo. No. All right, I personally just, in general, when it comes to sand themed levels in any video game, I'm just not a huge fan. Mario or any other ones like Kirby, those are just not mine. I can do them, get through it, but most of the time I don't have a good experience. Sand Road is just one of those two. I think detail and design wise, it's okay. Yeah, the Sand Road music is good, but let me clear, the music is not a factor in my tier list, because I feel like there might be a good track with bad music and vice versa. So yeah, also it's a bagging track, so you get rewarded on pretty much bagging. And the other thing I want to say is that in the beginning, in the first lap, right, you have 2 alternate pathways. You got that top section that you can go on, or the bottom section. If you know what you're doing in the game, most people will take the top section because it's faster. And then on the final lap, you got the water section opened up, right? And the water section is faster than the first route you go on the first lap. And I don't feel like it should function that way. I feel like it should be more variety on how people go. Like, they should be able to take whatever path they want to, and it should just be equally as fast, instead of just, you know, the one section that everyone has to take. Yeah, but the super items don't work that much. Unless you're in last, then yeah. But if you're in first and you take the non-water path, and you go for the special item, you're probably just gonna get gloves. You're gonna use gloves against the multiple tech drifters in the lobby? Hell no. That's why Road is there. Alright, I'm not a huge fan of sand themed levels. Yeah, here, have 100 rings, you're maxed out. Exactly, yeah. That's why. So also, like I said, water sections in the game is not my, it's just I feel like it definitely functions a bit oddly than it does in other games, but you know. Aqua Forest. Not a bad track, but it's, again, it's one of those things. It's one of those things where it has multiple pathways again, and there's only one true pathway to take to win. Also, the warp ring at the end, the red ring at the end, people purposely skip it because going to the left of it is faster than taking itself. You know it's a problem when the intended shortcut doesn't work. It's, like I said, I don't think it's a bad track, but it's, you know. I've also never been a huge fan of water levels either. Sand and water levels are not my thing. Whoever someone come to avoid something and hitting you, maybe. Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. But if there's nothing going to hit you, and you know you can make it without something like that happening, just go to the left side. I just do it most of the time. Or I usually just take the bottom path on Aqua Forest before that even happens. Almost got hit by a Boom Boo, so that's what I did instead. The grass cut also makes no sense. Yeah, on the final lap, there's that, at the end, you got the grass shortcut, which I've stopped taking with the boost because I think it's actually slower. But I think both shortcuts are not that good either. It does not feel much faster because you got the one on the left and the right side. Yeah, neither are worth it. I'll go for it if I have a boost because usually I'm pretty far if I'm got a low level lobby, but it's not really that good either. So, all right, what's next? Rainbow Garden. Again, another linear track. Not a huge fan of. Linear and it's boring. Doesn't really feel like much of a garden detail-wise, except for like the final lap. Or not the final lap, the final section, pretty much. Another where detail and design could have been more than how it actually is. The big cuts at the end. No, you're right, yeah, because that requires me to at least get a boost to win at the end. You're not wrong about that. Rainbow Garden's cut at the end isn't even that big, but it's not that fun to race on. That's why it's pretty much low. I don't like the functionality either. Yeah, like I said, detail is a huge part of my tier list too, because I feel like there's so much missing tracks, and it's too short too. I feel like some tracks are just way too short, and I don't like it. I feel like there's more that they could have added. All right, it needs to be a bit more widespread. Okay. Mario Kart 8 specifically, I'm talking about, has 12 players too, right? And I feel in the tracks are pretty widespread where all the racers could fit pretty well together. But some of the tracks are too linear for 12 players in this game, all right? And there's some people going to complain like, oh, maybe you know, this part of the game is the chaos. Well, here's the thing about chaos in this game. The chaos can be fun and funny in the beginning, and after you play the game for a while, you're just annoyed. So yeah, that's why Rainbow Garden's so low. Ocean View, more like bagging view. Again, big cut at the end. If you don't have a boost, you lose. I'm happy they brought it back. It was one of my favorite tracks in Transformed, but I don't like the way they did it too much in this game. And yeah, like I said, that shortcut at the end is. First off, it doesn't function when you have a laser, which wasn't quite so big. Yeah, I think we all do. Especially getting hit, especially where the items are placed too, right? Like if you're in last, the items are just before the cut too, right? So you're not even able to like get a boost potentially and take it. Yeah, exactly. You have to go deep into the grass for the laser to work. And then, like I said, the items are just before. So if you're in last trying to catch up, and that shortcut is your best way to at least salvage a couple spots, you're not gonna get in time. It's not like Mario where you can spam the item box to get your item faster. You have to wait for it to show up. So yeah, like I said, I liked it in Transformed. I don't like how they did it in here. All right, well, we have officially talked about these three. Now we got Holoska. All right, Holoska. Visually, I do like the track. All right. But it's one of those tracks where I said earlier, I'm not a huge fan of water levels, and this is an ice level, and I don't like it. But, oh, actually no, it's not that I don't like it. I do like it. It's mid. That's why it's, you know, the tier here. But it's not a track I would pick, but I know if it does get picked, it's not like, okay, it's fine. Not what I would pick, but I'm tolerating it pretty much. The start of Holoska, I think the start is fine. My biggest complaint is maybe near the ending, right? You do have a bottom path, but of course that usually only happens if you get pushed onto it. All right, I do have a water and a flight section, and even like I said, this isn't a factor, but the final lap of Holoska goes hard. I'm not even gonna lie. It's a literal boss battle. But yeah, Holoska it's okay. All right, it's mid. All right, Sweet Mountain. Oh man, what happened to Sweet Mountain for me? I think what made me lower Sweet Mountain than what I would have had maybe like a while ago is the jank. Really? How many times just before the water section on Sweet Mountain have you gotten hit by like someone just throwing their items behind you or spam NATO? It's always before the water section. That being said, a huge factor is definitely nostalgia because I liked Sonic Colors and I like Sweet Mountain as Sonic Colors. But it's okay. I really wanted to put it higher. Oh wait, I would put Sweet Mountain over Dinosaur Jungle. But yeah, I feel like it's begging more for what it could be. When I first saw it, when I played the game, I'm like, wait, they brought back Sweet Mountain? I'm like, yes. Dinosaur Jungle. Since I switched it, it's also mid. Dinosaur Jungle, it's whatever, really. I don't complain really when it gets picked too much, but I'd rather not drive on it. I think the water section is fine because the water is flowing, and the water sections in the tracks that actually make you go forward, I think are fine. You know, afford to take the good shortcut. That's fair. Yeah. And I do like how you get on the giant dinosaur's back on it, but also it feels so wonky as well, right? It's such a cool detail. But drifting on it is a nightmare. Drifting on it is such a nightmare, and that, yeah, like I said, what government said about that final shortcut, it's so narrow too. I literally have to slow down to take it. Dinosaur Jungle it's whatever. It's like, okay, I'll get through it, it's fine. Not the biggest deal. All right, Digital Circuit. I've never played Shadow the Hedgehog, ever. It's whatever. Really, I don't hate it when it gets picked. I pick it sometimes myself, but it definitely wouldn't be my first pick. It's like I wouldn't say it's a complete straight line. You go straight line for a bit, and then you get a flight section into the final stretch of it. There is a bottom pathway near the end, but that usually you only get there if someone really pushes you off the jump. No, yeah, it does not look like it. I've seen what it looks like in Shadow. Yeah, it's completely different. It could be in Why Does This Exist, but like, it's not actually a functionality. It's not a bad track, so it's tolerable. Golden Temple, low key, putting it lower than Digital. Once again, it's okay. It has a huge ass water section at the end that all you have to do is just hold down your drift button to go faster, because you literally because the water literally does the work for you. Pretty much. Yeah, the music is wild. Yeah, the beginning it's whatever. This is literally, I have no feelings for most of these tracks. But yeah, the water section is like the last 45% of the track, and it's just boring. There's nothing to it. All right, then we get to Water Palace, another track that's extremely linear for no reason. Okay. That jump just before the water section is so apparent, and just before you even climb up the stairs, people like to use spam NATO. The blue item is not worth it in almost any track. In fact, you're probably going slower going for it. Also, the final turn on the water section, oh my god, it's chaos because people are constantly bumping into you, and it makes it hard for you to turn because you're about to hit the wall. All right, I can't do anything about it. So here's my strategy for it. If there's too many people around, I will just go wide to the right and then start making my turn, because most people will be making their turn on in that section. Yeah, bumping into those walls is insane. Also, that shortcut is not a shortcut at the end. It's nothing. White space. Wait, actually, you know, white space can go higher. It is definitely a longer track, but it's also a whatever track. E Stadium. Ooh, here's the funny thing about E Stadium. I liked it earlier, and now it's whatever to me. Well, actually, I'm looking at this. Another track that requires pretty much bagging to win, or if you get lucky, hitting the red ring shortcut at the final lap. But guess what? If you don't get it, then you're pretty much screwed for the rest of the race, unless you have an item to back yourself up with. All right, people are fighting. It is a literal war zone for that red ring shortcut, and if you don't have the resources, you're dead. All right, I can't tell you the amount of bumps or desync bumps that have caused me to keep missing it, and I got a huge I lost so many spots for no reason. It's one narrow pathway, and what people do is if they have a tornado, boom, now no one takes it, or you better slow down. Yeah, that ramp it's insane. It's such a huge shortcut too. It saves like a few seconds, right? you need it if you want to really like win the race. That final shortcut, oh my god, bro. I don't know what they were thinking on that. I hate having to fight just to take a shortcut like that. It's so annoying. That's why I usually try to stay on top of the East Stadium, because if I take it, I guaranteed at least top 3. Yes, I agree. Yes. Okay, that's another point. The blue panel on the final lap allows you to take that shortcut on the first grass section, but they do it for no other track in the game. Why have that mechanic if you're not going to implement it for other tracks? It is literally an E Stadium exclusive. Man, E Stadium, man, what a track. I liked it more. Now it's whatever to me. It's okay. I do hear a bit of complaint from my voice though when it gets picked. North Star Islands, aka bagging islands. There are literally 2 major shortcuts and 1 shortcut that's not major but is still pretty good. And deciding what you want to go through is not difficult. Like, you need to take that one with the warp ring. You have to take the warp ring one, right? And then also that final section where that giant pillar thing slams down to the ground and lifts you up into the air. I have been screwed by that so many times, where I was gonna go for the item on the left or right section, but the game decided to boost me up into the air and I completely hop over the items. And it's like 50-50 whether it happens or not. I don't know if I'm too close or something like that, but I don't like it when it happens. All in all though, I do like the track itself. It's fine. I just don't like the bagging, really. The bagging is annoying. Too many shortcuts, bro. For a track like that. Too many like necessary shortcuts to win is what I'll say. I wouldn't say too many shortcuts, it's too many necessary ones. It's not supposed to be on the top path. It's happened to me on the top path. That's the thing. They made me, it hopped me over on the top path, man. Oh man, janky ass islands, man. What the actual hell? All right, white space. It's fine. I like it. I feel like it's a bit shorter than how it was in Sonic X Shadow. I feel like they could have made it a bit longer. I actually don't mind the water section that much on white space, but it definitely feels a bit short. But the final lap is pretty good too. I have been screwed so many times personally on the flight section, and that final stretch of it just before the shortcut, oh my god, it's a monster truck's paradise. Oh man. Also that shortcut at the end, like just before the final stretch, why? Yeah, the third lap change is good. That's probably why it's got some points. But there's that one platform jump skip or whatever. I don't see anyone taking it unless you have a laser. just to recover. I've tried to take it once when I was in a low spot and I fell immediately. Yeah, I've won too many times on white space where I've never taken it because you don't need to. And it's you're gonna ruin your race if you go for it, unless you have a laser, so, or a drill. So white space, it's a good track. Wish there was a little bit more for the first lap, but I think it recovers because of the final lap. So yeah, white space, pretty decent, I will say. It's the illusion of risk reward. Your only reward is dying. Yep, and losing all your precious world match points as well. Okay, Dampa Factory. It's fine, really. Detail-wise, it's fine. I wish there was more. I mean, you have 2 sections that are the same, right? You have that one purple paint section and that one green section that actually hurts you. I feel like they could have done more detail around how, you know, maybe like construction of the factory. Like Dampa Factory is literally like, oh, this is how the creation of the vehicles you use in the race. I feel like there was missing details of the track. Level 4 uses Paradise, pretty much. If you're not at Snapdrift 2, then you're pretty much a god at that track. Yeah, that mega shortcut at the end, and there's one more near the end. But yeah, I feel like there's more to be desired. It's a little boring, but I personally do like to race on Dampa. That's why it's pretty high. So I gotta do my own personal preference for Dampa. Details wise, I wish it was more to be desired about the functionality, because it's literally like the stuff you use to race on. The green car wash is scratched my paint so many times. Yeah, like I don't know why they have 2 line sections of like the same thing. It's not. Coral Town. Oh god, Coral Town. Very interesting. If this was a few months ago, it would have been in E tier. It would have been in E tier, okay? But because I got used to this stupid jump, it's fine. Here's the problem with that shortcut. It's because now that more and more people are going for it, it leaves the rest of the track behind. The alternate pathways. Here's the problem. Okay, so you guys, I don't know if you guys know, but like in Mario Kart 64 and in 8 when they brought it back, you had Yoshi's Valley. Yoshi's Valley is like the equivalent of Coral Town in this game, except there's only one right pathway, which was discovered eventually. And if you want to win, you're better off taking it, because you got to learn how to do it and then you're good. I did not like Coral Town before, and that's why it's in mid. It's in high mid because I like it. But what sucks about it is that you have these alternate pathways, which I think are somewhat decently fast, but it doesn't matter because there's that one skip that people found that makes you go faster on it. And then there is another fast pathway only if you have a shortcut, or only if you have a boost or something. If you go to the far right of the track, there's that one, it's not grass, but that one shortcut you can take if you don't feel comfortable taking the skip. It leaves the other pathways, like no one else will take it. No one takes the flight pathway or the one with the bubbles. Like it's just that one. Then of course they have the one giant shortcut at the end of the track too, which you pretty much need to. So it's a slightly bagging track. But some people will mess up the skip, so you could just maybe run free if they miss it without a boost. I bang on people fucking it up, and most of the time, I would say most of the time, maybe like a good 50% of the time, they will fuck it up. That's the funny part. Okay, I will say, maybe most people are questioning my choice of Metal Harbor being so high. I think a lot of people are really hate Metal Harbor. Okay, I personally like Metal Harbor. Yeah, it's a bit linear, especially that final jump on lap 3, but I think it's fun, especially going for that shortcut with the robot. But that final jump that's probably my only complaint with Metal Harbor, is because like even if you're a tech drifter, right, whether you're a tech drifter or not, I will say, someone has an item to hit you with if you're that close, that ruins you, all right? Because this track is already short enough. And if someone hits you just before the jump, before the shortcut, you're not making it. You have to go around while they just cleanly go around themselves. I like it though, personally. I think it's funny. It's the sense of impending doom, but I've never personally had too many problems with it too much. But then again, you know, I'm somewhat decent at the game. Rails on the final jump are mean. They are, yes. That's why you gotta really stay on top, pretty much. And then if I get bumped by too many times by the check drifters, I have to go around because I know I'm going to miss that jump entirely. Yeah, it's very chaotic, but I think it's fun. That's why. All right, we're done with mid-tier. That was a lot of tracks. Now, Sonic Speed tier. At the bottom, we have Galactic Parade. Oh man, do I love this track. I love, what was this game originally in? Sonic Colors, right? If I'm not mistaken. There's also a nostalgia factor. I like that middle, that one section, like not right after you get off the CrossWorld. It's still pretty much at the beginning. That they had that in Transformed as well. Oh man, I like racing on it because most of the time I hear people complaining about falling off. And sure, it's happened to me, but probably not as much as it's happened to them. I am locked in on that section because I know one small mistake and it's over. It also feels a bit skill based too because of those those drones trying to hit you with the lasers, right? So it's pretty much don't fall and don't hit the laser, so it definitely feels a bit more skillful in my opinion. And then the flight sections too. All right, they brought back the flight sections, how that works too. It is pretty long too, I will say. All right, maybe a bit too long, but hey, it works. I personally like Galactic Parade, even if other people may not as much. But I don't complain if it gets picked, really, not that much. Sometimes it gets picked too much, and I'm like, okay, why? All right, this track just recently came out, but I like it. It's better than the other DLC tracks. All right, fuck Bikini Bottom, fuck Minecraft World. Pac Maze Village is actually pretty good. Okay, the magnets on Parade can definitely screw you over. But yeah, this is such a good track. I like it. I think the only thing I will complain about the track itself is I thought it was completely randomized, but that's actually not the case. You kind of go the same pathway. You kind of go the same pathway for the first and final lap. You pretty much go to the left on the first lap, go to the right on the final. I thought it was completely randomized on how you would exit it, but it's not. They may like switch up the turns slightly, but all in all, it's literally the same. All right, that's probably my only complaint. Oh, actually no, there's another complaint. They have out of bounds barriers, or like off-road barriers and stuff. So you could literally slow down. I don't know why that's a thing. It shouldn't, but it's there for a reason. So yeah, that's my complaint. That's my complaint. Other than that, I think the track is phenomenal. I have hardly heard any complaints about Pac Maze, maybe except for those two I mentioned. But I think all in all, people will definitely pick that one over World, Minecraft World and Bikini Bottom. So don't know why people hate Steampunk so much. It's a fun track. It's fun. That maybe my only thing is they have alternate pathways which don't matter because there's only one true pathway, which is the fastest. But other than that, it's not terrible. Yeah, you get to kick the smoke. Yeah, Steampunk. Yeah, see, there you go, Sammy. Thank you. I knew Sammy would appreciate Steampunk. It's a very fun track. Okay, listen, I know maybe some people just don't like it too much. Okay, I get it. Maybe they think it's boring, but I personally like Steampunk. Okay. All right, there's hardly too much shit happens unless you take the same pathway. Like you'll be fine, really. I never picked it as much as I did now, but I definitely started to appreciate it a bit more. Steampunk City, and detail-wise, it's pretty good too. Okay, it looks pretty well done in that department, so I will say that. Weird bottom path a lot, and it's so peaceful. It is, but it's also slower. That's probably why it's probably why people don't pick it as much or just don't like it in general. But yeah, Steampunk, I definitely like that one. Roulette Road, again, another nostalgia track because they had it in Transformed, if I remember. It was either Transformed or the original Sonic Racing. I liked the spiral that they brought back in the end, and this definitely feels the most calming out of one of the CrossWorlds. There's no major shortcuts, which is fine. There's like one at the beginning, but that really doesn't matter. It's not that fast. Wish it was longer. That's probably, I would probably agree with that. If it was a bit longer, but they stayed true to how it was in the game. Since it's not a main track, it's just a CrossWorld. But yeah, I like it. You know, like I said, it's another nostalgia factor, but it's not a bad track. Yeah, there is a good chance you get crushed by the pool ball. Yeah, you're not wrong. That's happened to me a couple times, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck? It's a little annoying, but most of the time it just goes past me. But yeah, I still like Roulette Road. Crystal Mine. I actually really like Crystal Mine because it has like 2 major shortcuts that most people don't know how to do. And I think that's funny. Yeah, I like it. Like I said, it has 2 major shortcuts that most people don't know how to do. I don't know how to do the one on the monster truck, but that's fine because I usually win anyway, and most people fall off. So it's such a funny track. Because I love when I see people completely take the shortcut and they mess it up so bad. Those shortcuts actually just bring out the track a bit more. Because otherwise, if it didn't have those, it'd be a bit boring. Oh yeah, Crystal Mine. Good track. Okay, Kronos Island. Ooh, see, every time I get to the next track, I get the visions of how this track has either screwed me over, and it makes me want to put it lower. Kronos Island, God, it is one of the most chaotic tracks in the game, and one of the most overpicked ones, along with Radical Highway. Oh my God, it's not that serious. Jesus Christ. It has that one shortcut at the end that everyone takes because it's faster than going around, whether you have a boost or not. If you don't have it, also, oh God, man. Oh, that one section with the no barriers, that one section near the end. Oh my God. How many times I got pushed off or got threatened by someone with a spam NATO, and it's just ruined my race. Yeah, Squid Road. Magnet on Squid Road. Oh my God, don't mention it. Don't mention it. No, that's happened to me too many times. Also, I've just personally got bumped off. Oh my God. People with the tornadoes will just immediately use it. It pisses me off so much. I can't deal with it. Oh man. But all in all, it is a fun track because whenever it's like a very competitive race, people will usually hold on to it, like the top players. So I usually do end up having fun on it. But I definitely, oh man, that's probably why it's not any higher than the other ones. All right, but it's way too overpicked too. Like, calm down, guys. All right, there's plenty of other tracks. Okay. I'm done talking about Kronos. I'm done. Mystic Jungle. Ooh, Mystic Jungle. I was like whatever about this track earlier, but I think it's grown on me. The only thing I hate about it is that beginning section because you can easily fall off. People have pushed me way too much out of bounds and I fell off. I don't like it. That being said, it is one of the most competitive tracks I've ever raced online. People. Oh man, people are they are insane at this track. It's I feel like it's a bit too short personally. Like I feel like they can make it a bit longer, but it's definitely a fun one to race on. So wish I had a bit more maybe a bit more shortcuts too. But yeah, that path with the water on it is so linear too. That's the thing. So you really have to like slow down and make sure you don't bump anyone, but I think it's still fun. Yeah, love doing tricks on the water slide too. Yeah. It's a good track. I like Mystic Jungle. It would have been lower like months ago because I'm like, why would anyone pick this? But nah, it's grew on me. I definitely don't complain if it gets picked. All right, Blizzard Valley. Oh my gosh, people still don't know how to drive on this track. And they hate it still. It's a very fun track. I love Blizzard Valley a lot, okay? Sure, you may get bumped to the snow multiple times and the floor is icy, but it feels like it's so rewarding, right? Like you do well for good driving on it. Yeah, it's fun now. All right, sure you gotta slow down a bit because if you want to take better lines, but I think it's fun. Also, the flight path is not that long either. That one jump near the end is a little irritating sometimes because If you have a bad angle, you can go into the snow, and that could definitely mess up your line. But it's not. It's still a pretty good track in the end. All right, that one shortcut can before the final stretch is also it's pretty decent. It leaves room to be able to catch up, but yeah, it's a fun track, and it's actually decently long too. Blizzard Valley, I wouldn't be in S tier, but it's definitely one of my favorites. Colorful Mall, close to S tier, but not just there. Details wise, it looks good. I feel like they could have done a bit more, but it's whatever. All right. And there is one funny thing about this track. It has a warp ring, but it's not a shortcut. It just gives you a guaranteed special item. Yeah, you don't need a boost. Like, you could just use a void or a tornado. But the funny thing about it is that it has a warp ring, and it's actually intentionally slower, but it gives you a guaranteed special item box. But if you're in first, it's just gonna give you gloves. I think it's intentionally bad because it's like, oh, you can get that special item box. But I do like the alternate paths because it does feel like no matter what path you take, they're all equally as fast. Well, if you take the bottom path near the end, you're probably gonna catch up if you have a boost. Other than that, no. You can also throw a charge bomb to take the cut. Yeah, see, that works too. It's never worth it. I know it's not worth it. No one takes it. It's just funny to me that it's there. Because you just get one item and you just pretty much ruin your race because you want it to be a bit quirky. Yeah, pretty much. it's funny in my opinion. But as for the track itself, it's very fun to race on. I have no complaints. Yeah, it's not even a bagging track because you can literally take it without it having a boost. If you have a void, tornado, or a bomb, as Cream Millie said, anyone can really take it. I usually, if I don't have any of those and someone's ahead of me, I just let them clear the path for me so I can take it. I'll just like intentionally slow down so I can do it. That's literally what I do. But yeah, Colorful Mall, it's a very fun track. I like it. I like the music too. Like I said, not a factor, but I thought I'd mention it. All right. At the bottom, cyberspace. God, cyberspace is such a fun, and it's a good mix of fun and chaotic. All right. Oh man, I've never played Frontiers, but it definitely it's a fun one. That flight path can be a little irritating because of all the spinning spikes, and if you mess up, you definitely are back at that bottom spot. But all in all, it's not a bad. It's a good CrossWorld. It's definitely one most people will pick. I don't know if it's because they really like Frontiers or because they think it's a good track, but I definitely don't complain if anyone picks it, or I will pick it myself too. Yeah, but like I said, that flight path is like the only thing. Also, just swerving through the trucks at the end it feels so rewarding because I feel like a lot of people are gonna mess that up. Also, I like how if you get lucky, if you're going fast enough, you can literally just jump on that one truck and then gain some air. So yeah, it's definitely, I think it definitely rewards a bit of skill too, because there's so many obstacles in your way on the final stretch. So a lot of people can mess up, or if they have a shield, they can block most of it. We pick it to enter our flow state. Exactly. Dragon frickin' Road. Okay, this is my favorite. Yeah, this is my favorite CrossWorld. All right, Dragon Road is my favorite CrossWorld. I am genuinely surprised by the amount of times I've not gotten screwed on that jump. All right, people actually hold on to their items on the first jump into Dragon Road, and oh my god, the music. Okay, I guess I know I'm talking about the music sometimes, but the music is such a banger to it. All right, it really did stay true to how it was. All right, I love this track so much. All right. It's peak road. All right, it's hard to put it into words. I do like the fire barrier, because you can either obviously just take the other road, but you can jump over it. You can jump over it if you jump just before it, but it's such a good one. Yeah. And it's another one of those tracks where I don't mind the water section. They do have a shortcut as well. Shortcut is okay, I guess, because I feel like I feel like if I don't take it, but someone else does, I'm usually still able to catch up to them pretty well. I don't think it's that beneficial. I would say just take it if the main track doesn't have like a major shortcut, but most people could just catch up anyway. I usually just hold on to it because I'll just catch up. But other than that, yeah, the rest of the track is amazing. Firebird's Control, yes, that's another. The design of it is really amazing. That's another reason why. Oh man. But yeah, Dragon Road, Peak Road, Best CrossWorld. Don't at me. Okay, Radical Highway. Oh god, I'm gonna ruffle some feathers here. Most of y'all do not like Radical Highway. Radical Highway is God. It's fun. It's a time for me to unfollow. No. It's a fun track. Radical Highway. Listen, okay, I get it. There's a bit of jank. All right, let's go over the bad things about Radical Highway. Number one, the beginning shortcut. Okay, that could be one of the most janky shortcuts in this game. Okay, that beginning shortcut is a 50-50 because if you go too fast, you might overjump and fall, or you could actually make it to the other side. I think that's fun and funny. But I can understand the frustration because I've definitely gotten frustrated off of that too because I was going too fast for the game. That's why I had to like slow down to take it. The jump itself is a good reference, obviously, to how it was in Adventure 2. The robots. Ooh, the robots are definitely an obstacle in your way if you don't have tech drift or a shield. All right, they can definitely mess you up. I feel like it's definitely a blind spot because some people just don't see it. They do have alternate pathways, which I don't think matter because I think most people just take the bottom pathway anyway because you want to reduce your air time, and taking the top one makes you go a little too high in the air. All right, and then you have the grind rails with the boost panels on them. Oh man. I've told myself, yeah, bottom path has more rings as well. Yeah, and the grind rail with the boost panels. Ooh man, I told myself to never take it with EX gear ever again because I mess it up so bad. But hey, at least you go fast on it, right? The rest of the track is fun. The loop-de-loop is fun. I like it. I like Radical Highway. Okay, sure, I will admit it gets annoying when it gets picked too many times because people fucking love Shadow and Radical Highway. I will say that, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad track. All right, it's fun, guys. Listen, I get screwed on too. Some people want to just be a spam NATO gym and just screw me over, but it's Radical Highway's fun. All right, I don't care what you guys think. All right, it's my tier list. Radical Highway is peak. All right, now this may ruffle some feathers too. Urban Canyon. I did not realize how much people hate Urban Canyon. I think it's fun. And it's not just because of the shortcuts at the end, okay? Sure, that's a small factor, but it's also it's fun. What else do I have to say? It's boring? No, it's not. Some people really don't like Urban Canyon, okay? Is it a little boring? Sure, but it's competitive. And that spiral at the end, or like that final turn, yeah, maybe it's a bit janky. All right, or, you know, I wouldn't even say janky, it's just too linear. All right, that I will admit that it's linear because if you got people with monster trucks or a drill behind you, yeah, good chance you get hit. All right, I will admit that there's a good chance you will get hit. Damn, I've been doing this tutorials for almost 2 hours, bro. Visually, yeah, it could be better with the visual. I won't lie. All right, okay, it's not a bad track. All right, that flight path is annoying on certain parts because I've seen the clip. What was that one clip where I fell off? This did happen to me when me and Kurbo were racing. But it's still a good track, okay, in my personal opinion. All right, just learn how to snap drift, you gyms. How about that? Market Street. I will say this about Market Street. Sure, it's one of my best tracks, and maybe it could be a bit longer, but it's a bit more widespread than the others too. Yeah, nothing happens on Market Street. No, that's a lie. There is one thing that happens on Market Street, and that's when people want to basically use their items on you to get through the warp ring, because it does save you a few seconds. All right, you could be at a huge deficit if you don't take it, but I like it. All right, that's part of the challenge. That's part of the fun. All right, so that's why I usually don't take the top pathway to get to the warp ring. I'll just go around and then just hop on right there. Yeah, it's one of my best tracks too. Also, I love Rooftop Run. Okay, it's a good track. I feel like it could have done more with it, a bit more. I feel like it is a bit too short. I will admit that, but to be fair, there are a lot of tracks that are a little too short, in my opinion. But yeah, that final stretch can be make or break, really, because that's when all the monster trucks come out. That's when all the drills come out. So you really got to stay up ahead. Other than that, they do have multiple pathways, so you do have space to get away from people if you're too close. That's what other tracks don't have. That's what I like. So if I feel like I'm being threatened, even though I take the same line and the same path, if I need to, I can go around or fall down to the bottom path just to get away from people, because at least that's a bit more widespread, right? So yeah, that's usually my biggest complaint with the tracks. There's not enough space, you know. Apocalypse has like no space, right? Certain tracks you're just way too close where you're bumping into. Market Street has a bit more space. It has a little bit more variety for pathway. And you're not touching people too much. You know what I mean? But yeah, Market Street. Love that. Wonder Museum. Oh man, I love Wonder Museum. It's one of the tracks. Always helps me out when my community decides to punish me for no reason by making me use shitty gadget sets. So I usually get top 3 when it happens, right? But yeah, it's my pride and joy for that. And detail wise, wish they did a bit more. I feel like there's too much of the same thing. You have the boat panel things at that one section, and then you have the wings from that plane. I feel like there's definitely a bit more that they could have done with it. Government, don't you smile like that. No, you're scaring me with that smile. Yeah, like I said, Wonder Museum, wish there was just slightly more to it, but I do think it's not so bad where you can't win, because even though they do have one shortcut at the end, that's not like a complete make or break, really. Also, some people will just definitely use the boost too early, and that'll screw them over. But yeah, the final lap, it definitely gets quite chaotic. I've definitely hit the wings too much. All right, but you know what? That's just part of the game. The lasers too. I don't think Wonder Museum is a reference to anything, so the lasers feel like a weird choice. Maybe it's like a security thing. I don't know. Oh yeah, the dinosaurs become live on the final lap too. Yeah, from Tears. Oh okay, gotcha. From another Sega IP. Okay, I see. But yeah, it is pretty cool that the dinosaurs come alive, but it's like just from one part. Oh no, there's 2 of them. You got that one at the beginning, and then once you take that left turn, then you have that other one where that 100 ring is at. But yeah, I think it's definitely, I would say like it's more skill based, because anyone can run it easily, but it's definitely more. There's 3? There is? Oh, you're right. No, there is 3. Yep. But yeah, Wonder Museum is a really good track. I think it's definitely like probably the 3rd most picked track, because people like it that much. But it's not as much as like Radical Highway or Kronos. All right, last, I'm pretty sure you guys all saw this coming if you guys have been watching me for a while. Pumpkin freaking Mansion. All right, this is my favorite track in the entire game. All right, this is probably the only track where I can actually tolerate the insanity of the chaos. Okay, that is probably the only track I will tolerate the chaos. Okay. All right, sure, it rewards bagging slightly, but not by a wide margin. All right, you can still catch up even if you don't bag. You just have to, make sure your lines are good. Here's my complaint. I hate it when people push me off the final like the ghost road. I don't know what's called, but that one road on the final lap. Because I swear to God, it's happened to me too many times. Or I just get pushed into the goop on it. It's a little annoying, but because that pretty much just can ruin your race. That's my only complaint with Pumpkin Mansion. All right, I do like how like they have like fixed pathways with the pumpkins, like they'll disappear and you have to go that way. I think that's pretty cool. What was another thing? The final stretch, too many monster trucks at the end. Okay, I will say that. I like how even if you have a boost to take the grass shortcut, you can still lose because you can go too fast and too far off the road, and you can actually still lose with the boost. That's why it's better to get an Omochao, but you can't guarantee an Omochao. Yeah, the chandelures can't fall on people. Yeah, I think that's fun. It would be like a cool detail if like the Boom Boo just didn't have its glasses on Pumpkin Mansion specifically, but you know what? Can't control everything. But yeah, Pumpkin Mansion is one of my best tracks. It's such a good track. The music is goated too, not a factor, but it definitely takes maybe just a little bit to get used to it. Eggman Expo and damn it, I thought you were cool. What? Come on, Kazemi, you can't say that, okay? It's just not that fun for me personally. I'm disappointed in you. Listen, Kazemi. Listen, Kazemi, okay. Well, thank you for the follow, even if you're disappointed in me, okay? I'm disappointed in you, instant follow. Listen, okay? Listen, I get it, okay? Kenzie likes Eggman Expo too, but it's just, there's stuff missing. Boring. The water section is annoying. I don't like it. Maybe if it had more shortcuts, I'd like it a bit more. I'd probably put it in C tier. I could be disappointed in still nice. That's right. Skill issue? No, it's not a skill issue, Kazemi. Okay, it's not a skill issue. All right, I can win on Expo just fine. All right, I'll prove it when I'm about to play. But yeah, this is my tier list. Pumpkin Mansion on top. And I don't care what any of you gyms think about it.